bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here, I got time, it's clear to see.
So part two, we're going to finish off the floor, work on the ceiling and the rest of the walls, and start the bed frame. So hopefully there'll be some information that you can take from it. Stay tuned. Catch you later. So now I've completed the Dodo insulation, which is a 7mm anti-moisture insulation for the floor. This is the Dodo insulation. It's kind of a grey looking colour, 7mm thick, and that's placed on the floor in between the timber battens. I've also laid 100mm eco wool in between the battens. I'm in the process of doing that. I've also put in the eco wool to these panels here, the lower ones, above the wheel arch, and also the back door at the bottom. Tools I've used: tape measure, Stanley knife, Sharpie pen, scissors, Swiss Army knife, and gloves. So I'm going to carry on with the eco wool on the floor, and then it's the plywood that goes on top of the floor. So now I've completed the 100mm eco wool to the floor, just to the first section. I've still got the rear end to do. As you can see, still a little area to do. But yeah, almost done with the rock wool on the floor, so the eco wool. And I've also just filled in some areas with the expanding foam where it's touching the metal rather than the eco wool touching the metal. Same on that side. I think I've shown you that before. A few areas at the back in the corner there, and a bit on the other side. Obviously those lumps can be cut off quite easily.
Cool, ready when you are.
Okay, so we've got the plywood floor in. Just two pieces I've used on the flooring. 2 pieces of plywood. It's 9mm thick, and the boards are 1.2 by 2.44. Used 2 of them. Took a lot of measuring and bringing in and out of the van, but yeah, got to the exact shape of the floor. Screwed in around the perimeter of the plywood.
I think we should do some here as well, just like around the back here.
Yeah, because that's a bit loose.
Yeah, even if it's just the back section. Yeah, sorry about that. Underneath insulation, there's quite a nice little sandwich here. So
yeah, so at the bottom we've got the foil insulation, which is about 2mm thick.
Which is Dodo.
No, that was the silver foil.
Oh, sorry, no, yeah, okay, yeah, we got the silver foil.
Yeah, and then we've got the Dodo insulation, which is 7mm thick, which is anti-moisture.
That's cool.
Moisture resistant. And then you've got the old 100mm eco wool, which is kind of squashed in.
Which is good.
So that's super insulated.
Yeah.
For the Alps.
Yeah.
Moving up to the steel framework of the van, we've now injected all this foam insulation into the cross pieces, which is that gap filling expanding foam. It's quite good stuff.
Yeah, the good thing about this one is it's actually thermal rated as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, cool. And that's literally all in here. Little word of advice: try and fill up the holes first before you start spraying it in.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just going to drop on your head when it starts expanding.
Yeah, take the holes in and then just maybe get a little hole in the tape and then inject it.
Yeah, that's a better idea.
So we're going to do all these cross pieces with the foam.
Yeah. Cool. And then what else have we done? Actually, we've done obviously the wheel arches, which we're going to box in, and then we'll put hopefully about another 10 centimeters worth of foam again, or something similar anyway, about this thickness down here, so everything's the same. And you've started paneling out them as well.
Yeah, this has started to panel out. The window's going in there, so we haven't touched that yet. We're going to put more foam insulation through the back here, because that's all hollow. Again, through here we'll have to drill holes, maybe so thick, 10mm thick, and then inject the foam. But again, all the way around the perimeter of the van at the top.
Yeah.
And also these vertical struts here.
Yeah.
Will inject the expanding foam.
Cool. And these we've just put up for the roof panels to go on. So what we've done is we've decided to go for cladding, and like tongue and groove cladding. So you've got simple tongue and groove, and that should hopefully cover the whole of the roof and look really nice at the same time. Probably going to stain it, aren't you?
Yeah, probably the oil, maybe Danish oil.
Cool. Sounds nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Should look good.
Cool.
Okay, so we now have all the internal panels in. I've put the panels in that came with the van and some additional ones like these on the door. So these are the doors at the back. We just put some additional panels on there. The existing arch panels I've reinstalled, refixed both sides, and now started the frame for the bed. So just use any timber that I've got left over from the battening to start the frame for the bed. Just show you from the other side. Yeah, hopefully you can get a good idea from what I'm showing you here. And then started the roof, started the ceiling. So just tongue grooved panels, bit of pine, onto battens. Battens are screwed to the metal hollow cross pieces. The metal cross pieces are filled with foam, then covered with that aluminium vapor barrier. Then installed the eco wool. Then I've just slotted in those tongue and grooved, and then just screwed them to the battens where I thought it was necessary. So that's the ceiling. I'm just in the process of doing that. The lights, I'm going to have to cut out the circular hollows for the lights, so that's something to do next. I've got to pick up the lights, which I'll show you later. We now have the framing for the bed. As you can see, so all the framework's in. I've just used the battens that I had, 32mm square battens, and any of the leftover battens from the ceiling and the floor. There's a few more upright supports to do just on the arch there and on there as well. Apart from that, that's ready for the plywood to go on top. 12mm plywood on the top, it's about the right thickness. And then on the roof, done a few more tongue and groove panels, installed the spotlights, one there and one on the other end. Just cut out a circular opening for them and slotted them in. They're quite easy and they're quite shallow as well. Paid about 16 quid for 4 of these, and then they've got about 1.5 meters worth of wire that comes off them, and then you connect to the battery. I've just left the wires dangling at the end there and just cut a little hole at the end for the wires to come out of. So I'm just going to carry on along through there and finish off the ceiling and carry on with the plywood for the bed.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
So that's the end of part 2. Part 3 is going to be finishing off the bed, the framework for the basin and the hob, finishing off the ceiling and the walls. So stay tuned, see you soon.